means what? You need to earn your own pay, okay? You need to try to what? Capitalism always say, you need to earn your own meal. No free rider, no free meals. Sounds right, right? Sounds right, right? Yeah, it's not perfect. What kind of things is not perfect? It sounds right, but the question is that, are you willing to, how about those people don't have the food? Okay, are you going to just create a job for them? Or you still want try to build a big mansion yourself? Okay, and then you still did not feel it necessary to hire those people, and then end up they don't have job. And then those people end up to be what? Those are socialists, sociologists feel that if you did not give a food to them, give a food stamp to them, what would be the situation? Huh? In terms of the overall pictures, you try to convince those rich people to hire to create a job. What if they did not want to create? What if they did not want to raise the minimum pay? What would be the situation? Those people don't have job, enough income. What do? They will come to the street to what? To do the robbery. The boy, the man, will do what? Robbery, right? And then how about female? Will do what? Something we call hotel escort services providers job. Society become really unstable. So somehow that the Democrat Party try to say we need to look at everything as a whole, not just only we have to step in to hold the justice, social justice this way, to secure the outcome. Of course, the other side will criticize. The other side say, you are not really do the right things. You are trying to allow lazy people. Okay, you are trying to nurture those lazy people, and them to stay at home to get the social benefits. So it's kind of like a lot of arguments. It got to be something that you have to find a balance. So in a theology seminary, they always told the pastors, if you go to the church, found out your church members are really legalistic, really try to brag about how good they are, how religious they are. Okay, so there is self-righteousness. You have to emphasize what? More love. Okay, if you find out your church is really liberal, okay, really have lots of flexibility, want to do things on their own freedom, their will, you need to try to emphasize what? Rules. Okay, you need to have rules to pull them back. So even in God's nature, they have the righteousness and what? And love at the same time. The question is that in society, we always have this kind of the argument or dispute. So in the Bible, you can see, you have to ask yourself, is Jesus really fundamentalist? Only keep the rules all the time? Or Jesus really have the good heart? If you look at example here, in that society, the government and the church are combined together, not separate from each other. At that time, the government really had power, the church had a lot of power. Then what? When Jesus violated the Sabbath law to allow their disciple go to the grain field. Some translations say go to the cornfield, go to the wheat field to grab something, and then what? They try to eat, try to do the labors. Do you think that's a really severe offense, violation of Sabbath law? So sometimes you will see whether Jesus really always addicted to the policy, to the law all the time, or Jesus really try to set example that we need to consider human needs. Because in the situation, you can find out what the human needs. People are hungry. Did you want to just have your animals fill into the ditch and then just kind of try to go to a church and then you still can really have peaceful mind to pray? Do you think so? That's why Jesus gave a very good example we call Good Samaritan. Those priests want to go to church, right? To preach, right? But Jesus did not really agree with that. They said, you see the human needs, are you just, want to stick to your habit to attend the church, you try to please the God, but do you think the God really loves that way? You have to also, as a Christian, sometimes that we think that we just need to worship to the God. But how about the community's needs? Do we really care about the community's needs? Homeless, female shelters. Did you really care about those people? Or you just, say, if you do not come to the church, it's not my business. You need to come to the church. That's your choice. Did you want to reach all those people? Let them know that God really wants to see your good heart in the community. Instead of just like those priests are so desperate to go to the temple for preaching. So this way also has some situation when you see the people really have the disease, have sicknesses, have troubles, and you always see some people really critical. They think the Sabbath, just Sabbath, you cannot do anything. Okay. They even create a rule, they cannot travel. If you travel more than 3 miles, then what? You are violating the Sabbath law, then what? God will not be pleased, the church will going to expel you out. And now people have to do that every 3 miles, they build a tent, on the way, on the roadside. So we are going home right now. So actually, I'm going home, so it's not going to be categorized as a travel. Actually, I'm going home already. Sometimes human can really add lots of reward to yourself. Let me tell you this way. I came from Asia. How those early missionaries come to Asia to tell Asian people how to keep Sabbath. On Sabbath, you cannot really take shower. On Sabbath, you cannot really do a jogging. Okay, it's not allowed. Okay, then you cannot really even have telephone conversation with your friends because private talk. Okay, and then when I came to the United States, I found out, looks like it's not a reward here. I saw my... Why? People tend to earn the credits. Okay, so praise the God. So if I stay in this kind of rules, I become a good boy. People want to be a good boy, so that the God will be praised. You will try to do some efforts to earn the credit, to praise God. But do you think that's what really God really wants? This is why Jesus gave a very big example for the Samaritan, because the Samaritan really gave a very important lessons. The God really wants to look for your heart instead of your ceremony, your ritual. Okay. Even make more interpretation. What is the Sabbath means? Okay. That's why the Sabbath law really, in that time, really kept everybody away from all kinds of things, but they not really consider the major spirit and principle of the Sabbath law. Okay, that's why I mentioned this way. We always, have this kind of dichotomous mindset. We did not really understand the spirit. We have form only, the form, and then ignore what the power of what the Bible says what. We only have the form, and then forgot about what? The godliness. Okay? We did not really understand the major spirit, why God wanted to create a law. It's not just try to have you to stay in the comfort zone, status quo. So that, if you are a person, I would say most Adventist people are really somehow really a good boy. We are so cautious about everything we did, our behavior, our motives. We are so cautious about this one. Amen. Okay? But somehow the God wants us to extend our boundaries, to stretch, to consider human needs. Okay? This one requires lots of the understanding, tolerance, okay, accommodations. Even Jesus knew with the Judas betrayal. If Jesus wanted to practice the justice, he could really put him to death right away, try to prosecute him right away. But Jesus did not do that. Continue to give a chance to him. give a second chance. Okay. Even when Judah wanted to walk out to start saying Jesus, that in the Bible, especially Mr. Ellen G. White said that Jesus even tried to remind him, give a last glance to see if you can really, wake up your conscience, knowing that you are doing something wrong. Christianity really has kind of the spirit want you to accommodate, to understand. That's why in Germany, when people try to criticize, try to ask about the prime minister, what did you feel about those homosexual gay marriage? And then he said that, actually, we did not want to have any kind of discrimination towards people. We respect the decisions. Sometimes we criticize liberal, left-hand side was kind of give to people too much freedom. But the question is, are you really respect people's decisions, even a choice? The church really have a responsibility to influence society. It's not just try to condemn, those things. Did you really try to exercise your influences, to those people? Or you just try to keep condemning those people? That's why, somehow that we did not understand this kind of idea. We continue to criticize, but we did not really do our job. To offer the better communication, to communicate with those people with this kind of inclination of the homosexuality. So that Jesus really continued to remind, the Judas, even Adam and Eve, God still gave a time for them to think. Okay. This kind of mercy is the major spirit of the Christianity. If 10 beggars come into you ask for money, did you want to give money to any beggars? Have you been to some situation that the beggars come into you and then you have lots of suspicion they might just want to pretend they are the beggars and then try to get your money so that you would refuse? How many of you would refuse to give any money to any beggars? Raise your hand. Refuse. They need to earn their own meal, so I don't really want to give any money to any beggars. Where's your right hand side? Your right hand. So you never in your life to give any money to a beggar, right? How many of you will still want to give money to the beggars? Okay, so there's still a lot of people in the middle. Okay, you are falling into this kind of the ethical dilemma. Okay. So what is the true spirit of Christianity? Then my mom told me that my mom's a very devout Christian. I asked her, why you always give the money to those beggars? Some of them might be deceiving you because they are not necessarily the real beggars, right? Some beggars in India, even worse, because the parents want their children to be a professional beggar. They even break their arm, their leg, to qualify them to be a professional beggars. So they are not real need the money. They try to use that as a job. But my mom told me why she still want to give money to those professional beggars. You know why? She said, even though 9 out of 10 are deceiving me, just because one of them might be in a true need, just because of that one, I'm willing to be cheated, be deceived by the other 9. So sometimes the kind of the trust, due respect is important for Christian people. Sometimes we don't have that kind of due respect for people's choice. We only think that we are on the right hand side. It becomes like the Pharisees, Pharisee righteousness. I'm the God's children. God will love my behavior. They did not really want to extend your love, your understanding to those people who really are still in the process of struggling. They still need some help. So that sometimes that we look at this example here. I mentioned about the wheat example here. So what is the Christian ethical thinking really mean to you? On the right-hand side, you deal with the branding power, you want to get a lot of respect, then you want to stay with the law regulations. Somehow that, most of the time, that is not what really God wants you to do this way. Okay? God said, if you deal with both sides, how would you really handle the situation? Sometimes you don't understand the major spirit in the Bible. Actually, God said, yes, you want to keep the laws, fine, okay, but you got to be you can be really strict and rigid to yourself. You can be very rigorous to yourself, but to others, you need to what? You got to be lenient. You got to be kind and nice. This is how the Bible tries to tell us. Okay, true yourself. Yes, if you want to behave yourself, want to discipline yourself, well done. But don't try to force others to be like you. You have to give a lot of understanding, a lot of help. So actually, Jesus tried to condemn the opposite. Most of the time, that we tend to be what? Do the opposite. We tend to be what? More lenient to ourselves and then become really rigorous to others. Okay. So especially due to lots of social issues, we have lots of the situation. We did not really try to understand why the government wants to give the privilege or approval for some certain issues. Okay, refugees, okay, immigrations. So that's why the Prime Minister of the Germany said, actually, we as a Christian, we need to try to not to discriminate those people. Okay, even try to go on the street to fight those people with excess of influences to those people. Okay, even though we know what we really want, okay, for ourselves, but we would not always try to attack those people, because this is not a major spirit or principle that God tried to tell you. Okay. So we got to be merciful. Okay. As Christian people, most of the time we pay more attention to ourselves. We did not really try to consider human needs. Okay. The government really have to balance out the situation. You cannot drink and drive, right? The law, right? But why they still allow, the bar established on the exit of the highway? Is that really contradictory? There's still some human needs. Somehow the government tries to use the church to exercise influences instead of trying to become your conscience to tell you to do this one, to do that one, to do micromanagement. So God really expects the church to serve as a salt and light in society, to reform, to perform this kind of salvation functions. Salvation means what? Human nature is kind of the declining, deterioration trend. The God expects, the Savior to pull up. Okay, it's kind of social trend. Because the social trend is because sinful nature become worse and worse. The God really expects you to perform this function. But in terms of law-wise, they still allow you to have the law not to drink and drive, but they allow you to have the bar, okay, on the exit of the highway. This will tell you that, okay, then you only can drink what? Do you think God wants to totally deprive all the human needs? You still can see lots of nightclub, you can see lots of the casino, you still want to you can see lots of the bars in the community. But can God just like a communist country say, no, it's no, then what? Everything go underground. No, God wants Christian people to serve as a salt and light to reform society. Creates kind of a salvation function to restore the image of God. This is our duty call. But the question, we are not only condemn the darkness and do not think of ourselves as light to enlighten the darkness. Legally, they said the law that you can only drink 1 can of beer that make your blood density with alcohol 0.25%. This is called regulation. But at the same time, they try to see if the education, the church can serve that functions to help society to understand the better way to handle the situation. So that my little conclusions here is that love is mercy, accommodation, and tolerance. Most of the time, Christian people just feel so self-righteousness, okay? So that you don't have even the tolerance for others. You do not do something for others. You just continue to condemn, criticize, and barking, like barking a train. The train still keep going, and they keep barking. You do not really understand your role and function. You do not really go out your way to help. So community did not even know that you are existing here in the building. They did not even know you. Okay? Love is not evil or spoiled, but what? Give the freedom of choice. And then we respect that one. Okay, we respect people's decisions. We do not want to just only condemn. We want to bring the light to the darkness. Okay, so in the Romans says, love does not harm. For what? To be neighbor. Do not harm, does no harm to the neighbors. Okay? Therefore, love is the what? Fulfillment of the law. So that in the Bible, it tries to tell you, even though you got a knowledge, you use knowledge to serve others. I have 4 children. I found out situations. Just like a story that, there's a farmer found out there's 4 chickens in a cage, and they found out the stronger one continued to pick on the other one. So the farmer said, oh, you are really nasty. So the farmer really killed the oldest one. And they found out it's going to be the peace, right? All of a sudden they found out, among the 3 chickens, there's one start take a lead. And what? Become really critical to the other chickens. Continue to pack the other chicken, attack the other chickens. So the farmer just feels so upset. Then what? Next time that there's a guest coming to the house, the farmer just take that chicken and then what? Cook it. All of a sudden they come to the only 2 left in the chicken in the cage. The farmer still found out the 3rd one and still want to abuse the power, knowledge power. Okay. The power. Okay, to check on the other one. So the farmer really upset also too, and they kill the 3rd one. Only the one or the pitiful one, the poor one left in the cage. Most of the time, I found out the situation among my 4 children because I told my oldest one a lot of rules. So he become really mature, really knowledgeable for all the family rules. And then I found out, did he use the knowledge to serve his brother and sisters? No. Somehow have that kind of risk potential. Use the knowledge power to dictate, to criticize, to punish his siblings. So that